Hey guys, it's Kelly Hauk with Nerdgasmic Adventures again, and we're going to take another challenge, but it's the same one, but this time it's going from Los Angeles west around the world. Now, we have to go at least 10 stops minimum. It might be more. And this challenge, you can only bring one bag and maybe a small, just handheld whatever, that extra little thing they let you get away with when you're on the plane. Now, this does not include how much it costs to stay in places that you are flying into. Sometimes you're going to be stuck in an airport overnight. That's part of the fun, and that's part of the adventure. And welcome to this nerdgasmic adventure around the world from Los Angeles to Los Angeles. Let's begin. Well, today we are going to go around the world again, and we have some rules. The rules are this that we are going to start in LA. We have to make a minimum of 10 stops, and we can only go west. So, let's begin our journey west from Los Angeles. Now, last time I started on uh, May 23rd, going from New York. I'm going to actually start on May 24th, just to test the Tuesdays are cheaper to fly out theory, which has been out there. I'm not sure I buy it. I think there's more to the algorithm than that. So, Los Angeles, our favorite website right now, Skyscanner, and we're going everywhere. We don't know where we're going, but we are going to try to leave the country immediately on May 24th. Let's search our flights. So here we go. Now, Mexico is actually south, and almost all of it's to the west. So we've got to anything South America or Mexico, Central America is going to be south and east. Sorry, south and east. So these aren't going to work. Aruba's east, United Kingdom's east. Here we go. Japan, and to Tokyo nonstop for $279. Let's make sure that that's accurate. Looks like it might be $280, and it is on Japan Airlines, 11 hours and 35 minutes. You cross the international date line, so instead of getting in at like 11:40, or actually it would have been 12:40, as if you were standing still, but 11 hours and 35 minutes has you cross the international date line, and it's the next day. So since we are flying out on May 24th, that means when we get in, it is actually going to be May 25th. So we cannot depart from Tokyo until May 27th, because we want to give Tokyo at least two nights. That's what we're saying, 2 nights. And now, everywhere. Here we go, everywhere. Now we have to continue going east. We have a couple of options here. South Korea is a little east and to the north. I think it's going to cause us to run into problems. And even though Vietnam looks like it's crazy expensive, it may be crazy expensive to fly out of South Korea. And as a matter of fact, I know it is. To get anywhere other than going back to Japan, even going to China, is next to impossible for a low price. So we're going to go Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City, on the 27th of May. And it looks like we have a flight out to Ho Chi Minh City. Now we have one stop. Where is this? Let's see if it'll show us. One stop on the way. That makes it 11 hour and 35 minute. It actually stops in South Korea. Funny, but the price gets a little crazy if you actually fly directly out of Ho Chi Minh or directly out of Seoul to try to get to Ho Chi Minh City. It ups the price. So, anyways, we're going to take this airline T way to Ho Chi Minh City. It's SGL because it used to be known as Saigon. It is no longer Saigon, but it retains its former symbol, SGL for Saigon. And that is on the 27th May. It is not an overnight flight. So we're going to spend 2 nights. That's the 27th and 28th, and fly out on the 29th of May. And we're again going to go everywhere. Everywhere. So, Ho Chi Minh City to everywhere. Now, we have to go west this time. And it looks like Thailand, which I know is a bit west, and it's Bangkok. So, Bangkok is says $63. Let's see. Let's see if it is $63. It says it is decent time to fly out. I'd say 3:50 in the afternoon. $63. You could leave this one. It just, it doesn't matter which one. They're all $63. So, Ho Chi Minh to Bangkok on May 29th. We get into Bangkok in the early evening. And that means we can spend 2 nights in Bangkok, make us fly out on the 31st and going everywhere. So, everywhere. So, let's search this flight. Let's see. So, we have to make sure we're going west. Thailand, I mean, it's not going to help us to go somewhere in Thailand. It's probably to Phuket. They're going to say, no, Chiang Mai. Okay. Taiwan is east. Cambodia is actually east. Malaysia is south. Singapore is a toss up. It's probably maybe a little east. Vietnam is west. We've already been there. Laos. Indonesia is south. Philippines, Australia, east and south. So it looks like we're kind of stuck here with India. And it's to New Delhi. So let's check this out. New Delhi, cheap flight. Oh, this is where we get a little crazy. New Delhi is like the cheapest flight is 159. Now that's the rules. We try to take the cheapest flight possible. Although this is going to make it 15 hours and 35 minutes with it it stops in Phuket. I'm sure that's a huge just layover because it isn't that far. But yes, we're gonna go to New Delhi. We're actually gonna go overnight 9:15 to 11:20, and your overnight will be in an airport in Phuket. I guarantee you. Anyways, that gets you in. Since we left on the 31st, that means we flew in, got into New Delhi in the morning of the 1st. So 2 days makes it. See, we get in on the 1st because it was a +1. 2 days makes it the 3rd. And now we're going to go from India, from New Delhi, everywhere, New Delhi. So let's see what we got here from New Delhi. It's interesting to see how much more expensive it is to fly around Asia. Um, than it is to fly around Europe. But Europe, everything's a little bit closer in Europe. Asia's the biggest continent, so it makes some sense. All right, there we go. Dubai, 166. That's the best we could do unless we fly somewhere else in India, but it doesn't make sense to do that. So, keeping on our theme of going west, $166. Now remember, this is assuming you're a backpacker and you're just taking your one bag with you and maybe one small carry on. So possibly they're not going to charge you that extra uh, for another bag. So looks like the Emirates on this one. We're going to go to Dubai. So Dubai from New Delhi, the cheapest is on SpiceJet. SpiceJet, and that is 166. And notice again on SpiceJet, This is a 17-hour flight, which means you're actually going to spend a day in Bombay, or not Bombay, it's Mumbai. It was Bombay, but that was the English city. Um, the way the English had titled it. So okay, so here we are, 166. It's an overnight flight. I would take this one in the evening. Um, that way you get in kind of the morning. So that means you left on the 3rd, but you got there on the 4th. So 2 days from the 4th. So you flew here, got here. 2 days is the 6th. So Dubai to everywhere. And that was $166. So let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Pakistan, that's east. Turkey, that's the best we're going to do here going west. Turkey's definitely west. $132. $134 here. So, like I said before the previous video, those prices you see in there when you say everywhere are the cheapest they saw in the last 8 days. So, here we go. So far, the cheapest flight's 134. It's UIA and actually stops in where? In Ukraine. Ukraine. So that's you've got a layover in Ukraine. You leave early. You get in. You have a bit of a layover in Ukraine and arrive in Istanbul at 6:20 p.m. on Monday, June 6th. So usually I like to let this play out, but I've I've done this before. So I'm going to say you're going to depart on the 8th because 2 nights in Istanbul and Istanbul to everywhere. Search. So here we go. We're not going here, but look, the cheapest is North Macedonia. North Macedonia is a bit west of Istanbul. So, and this place is called Skopje. Skopje, North Macedonia. $45. Let's see if that holds up. Skopje. By the way, yeah, well, it doesn't matter. It was Ukraine International Airlines was the one from Dubai to Istanbul. I think that's what UIA is. Anyways, $43 on Pegasus from Istanbul to Skopje. $43. All right, wrote that down. Now, June 10th, because you're going to spend 2 days in Skopje. You don't know anything about it. Why not? You're going to learn stuff. It's an adventure we're on. Any adventure, the surprise is the fun. Just, you don't want huge surprises, but you want, oh, that's a cool building. Oh, I like that fountain. Oh, is there a lake here? Awesome. Is there waterfront? I'm not sure we're getting that in Skopje, but that's the entertaining side of things. Well, looky here. Switzerland, $20 from Skopje to Geneva. What a great idea. So Switzerland looks like it's 21. Yep. And it's EasyJet. That took us um, 2 hours and 25 minutes from Skopje on EasyJet. Now, let me warn you, EasyJet is one of those airlines that likes to nickel and dime a little bit, so it may cost a little extra for luggage, but we don't know what that is. And maybe I'll do a video on, how what the terms are on like EasyJet or Ryanair and things like that. Anyways, $21 on Friday, June 10th. That's going to be a great trip, a great stop, Geneva. So 2 days means we're leaving Geneva on the 12th. Everywhere. Yes, let's go everywhere. That's part of the fun of travel. I'd love to go everywhere. Okay, so we've got, looks like London, because Albania is actually taking you back east. Italy takes you a little back east, because Geneva is on the west side of Switzerland and almost right on the border of Switzerland and France. It pretty much is. And so east is like France, England, maybe some of the, I know Portugal is too, but we remember we're on the cheapest. Take the cheapest, and wow, it gets us to London on EasyJet for, $26 and to Gatwick. So here's a little thing. Gatwick is, I mean, it's not super centrally located, but it is easy to get downtown from Gatwick. It's not that big a deal. The more difficult, the most difficult one, airport in London is Stansted, and that's north of town, and that takes you a little bit. It probably costs you as much as it costs you for your airline flight to get to Stansted, but the prices are a lot cheaper. Um, so, anyways, this gets you to Gatwick. $26 an hour and 35 minutes from Geneva. Not bad, not bad on Sunday, June 12th. And of course, you're in London. You're spending 2 full days, and that means you're going to leave on the 14th. And then you're going to go everywhere. Everywhere but everywhere. The only rule is we're going west. So Italy's not west, but looky here. Ireland's west. Dublin from $14. Okay, let's see. Let's see if that holds up. Well, it looks like the cheapest is actually $15, but what's a dollar? What's a dollar? So Ryanair can get you there for $15. I mean, you spend an extra dollar to go if you want. I'd rather leave it in the early afternoon so I can get into wherever I'm staying quicker. It doesn't matter. It's whatever you want to do. But for this experiment, we're gonna say $15. We're going cheap. So a couple days in Dublin, why not? It's Ireland. You've never been, probably. So let's move it to the 16th. You spent 2 days in Dublin. Now we're gonna go everywhere west on the 16th. So let's see, where can we go from there? So we're not going back. That's east. France is east. Belgium is east. Netherlands, Ireland, Germany's east. Italy, Denmark, Slovakia, all east. Spain, that's questionable. It could be west, but it's probably due south, really. Poland, Switzerland, Portugal, Romania, Morocco, Greece, Hungary, Cyprus, Czechia, Austria, Lithuania, Croatia. All these are definitely east. But look here, Iceland. Now that is west, and right to Reykjavik. Right to Reykjavik for uh, looks like the cheapest right now is 108. Is it 108? Okay, this is where I'm making an executive decision. You're gonna spend the extra dollar, so you don't have to spend 12 more hours in the air. I have to cheat at this one just a hair, because I would spend a dollar. So would you. So let's just say we're gonna take Play, which I think is Iceland's new airline that they just started about a year ago. And it's $109. $109 to Reykjavik from Dublin. You get in about 12:30. Of course, there's a time change there because Iceland's out in the middle of the Atlantic, North Atlantic. But yeah, okay. And I definitely, if you haven't seen pictures of Iceland, and you should go look those up. Iceland is beautiful. It's got a variety of things to see. It's definitely northern climes and definitely cooler than when you were in Ho Chi Minh City this month. It definitely would be a lot cooler there. So Reykjavik to everywhere. And we have to go west. We're trying to get back to LAX where we started. So let's see. Let's see. Reykjavik everywhere. East, 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 east. If Canada was cheaper, but it's not. Canada's not cheaper to get to. So it looks like we are definitely going to the United States from to Washington D.C. Okay, let's check that out. Let's see what the price is. Washington D.C. Well, it definitely isn't as cheap as it was. I'm gonna go back actually. If Washington D.C., Boston, because Washington D.C. is 231. Yeah, it's that's fine. We're just gonna live with that. To Washington D.C. for 231. And of course, why not spend a couple days in the capital if you haven't been there? Even if you have been there, there's still a lot more to see. So let's go everywhere. Now, when I get back into the United States on these, ooh, okay, Washington. Oh, this will be the 20th, 2 days. Anyways, when I get back to the United States, I just try to get to the origin point as cheaply as possible because it's going to nickel and dime you to get home. You're not going to, oh, I'll go to Atlanta for 50, then I'll go to Denver for 80. It's just going to end up piling up. I mean, we could technically say this is a little west. That's definitely north. This is south. This is west. This is north. But since we're in the hundreds already, I think let's get home. Let's just get back to our origin spot, and that is Los Angeles for 176. No, no, it's a little cheaper. On Alaska, it's 169. Okay. All right, that's good enough. Now, we're going to do a quick review of everywhere we went, and we'll use the map. So let's do that. All right, so we start off with Los Angeles to Tokyo. 11 hours and 45 minutes. That's doesn't matter. But anyways, we are going west. All right. Then we fly south, Tokyo to Ho Chi Minh City down here in Vietnam. So that seems reasonable. Still going west. Then we're flying from Ho Chi Minh City to Bangkok, Thailand. And yes, still going west. And then we are going from Bangkok to New Delhi. Definitely west, northwest, but definitely going in the direction that we have said we want to do. All right, New Delhi to Dubai. Now, remember, this one was one of those that we had a layover. But, anyways, the general direction is right. It is almost due west, a little farther south, but that is where we're going, keeping going west. 2 days in each of these, which is actually pretty cool. I'm excited. I kind of want to take one of these. And then Dubai to Istanbul, Turkey. Now, up here is Ukraine, actually up in this way, but still, we have one layover. It takes you up here and then back down here, and we're still following our westward track. So that is what we're doing. Then from Istanbul to Skopje. Skopje. I've never been, but that's fascinating. The interesting places you could go doing this experiment, just different places that. Here's a thought. If you haven't been there, it doesn't mean you don't want to go there, or it doesn't mean you're not going to find something just super cool to find in those places. So, an interesting thing about North Macedonia. Um, so the Greeks don't look at as Macedonia as a different country, even though it's there. It's Alexander the Great is claimed by the Greeks, but he was born in Macedonia. But I think it was actually here in this part of Greece near Thessaloniki. But anyways, just a lot of little history you may not know about directly, but indirectly, things that you don't think about, you could find to do in many of these places. And then Skopje to Geneva, which is definitely west, and just lots of beautiful places that you're flying over. But you're actually going to see beautiful places this whole time if you took this trip. Anyways, Skopje to Geneva, and just awesome so far. I'm excited. Then Geneva to London here. So it is a bit more north than it is west, but it still goes west. So we are following the rules, which is great. Then London to Dublin, definitely west. This one was a Ryanair flight, which means you would be going out of Stansted, which is uh, somewhere around here. I love that they show Luton, but they're not showing Luton's over here. I believe Stansted's a bit over here. Anyways, so you would spend 2 days. After spending 2 days in London, you'd go spend 2 days in Dublin. Then flying from Dublin to Reykjavik, which is a bit north and west still north and west. So this is beautiful, by the way. I don't know. It's hard to say whether any of these places would have really. There's ugly places everywhere, but there's also beauty close by if you know where to look. And then Reykjavik to Washington, D.C. So Iceland to Washington, D.C., and that is definitely west. Definitely west. So then it's Washington back to Los Angeles. The cool thing about all that is you have just spent a long vacation to get there, a long time on airplanes, a couple of overnight layovers, and the price was $1,633. You actually had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 stops, 13 places you stopped in. You started on May 21st. You ended on June 20th. So that is a total of 27 days, and you have just flown around the world. So, if you like this, please like and subscribe. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and all of those places that we share what we do. We are a travel company, and we specialize in mostly European tours and our new story-based travel. So check us out at nerdgasmicadventures.com. Thank you very much. This is Kelly speaking. I'll see you next time.